This video will show you how to replace the front inside door handle on a Ford Edge. You'll have one of these mounted to each of your front doors. The process will be the same. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Once you have your door in the open position, we can start the removal process. Now, as far as the removal, if you are looking where the inside door handle and lock switch is, you're going to find that you typically will have a small plastic circular door. Carefully dislodge that. You could use an angled pick. Ours is missing. Once you've finished dislodging that, have a quick look in the center. This is where you're going to find that you have a T15 Torx screw to be removed. There's our small screw. We'll set that aside. After dislodging that, I want to start using a plastic trim tool. I'm coming up along the top of this plastic bezel. We want to carefully start prying it away from the door panel. Obviously, we want to be careful not to cause any damage to the plastic bezel. You can pull on the inside door handle. That might give you a little bit more access here. Of course, we will have to start pulling this away, but keep in mind there will be an electrical connector and wiring harness along the inboard side. Go ahead and set that aside. Now we can start the removal of our inside handle. Let's start by making our way underneath the handle itself. I'm using a plastic trim tool. I'm using it as a prying device. There's a tab under here that I need to gently pry. We should be able to start pivoting the handle. We can see that one alignment tab. We'll just carefully pull this out of place. You're being aware of any pinch points. Don't get hurt here. I'm going to carefully start prying in this area here. There we go. Now we can start pulling on this. We can see our cable inside this area. Pivot this as necessary for the removal of the cable. We can see the groove that would slide out of. Now you can hold the cable with some pliers. It may be easier than reaching in with your fingers. You can see where the cable has to slide down and out of. Hold the cable, hold the handle. There it is, friend. Prior to installation of any part, of course, we want to make sure we clean and inspect our mounting area. So we're starting inside this area. Up along the top, we have the hooked end where our handle will need to slide into. Along the bottom, we have a small circular port where the handle tab will slide into. And then, of course, we do also have our cable end. We want to make sure everything's in good, usable order. This looks good. For the installation, I like to hold onto my cable using some long pliers. We need to start with the cable into the handle. Now, of course, that cable will need to go through the groove there on the handle itself and be secured. After that, we have our tab down along the bottom and along the top. Those will have to fit into their corresponding ports as well. Okay, this is getting close. We just need to slide it down into its slot. Pressing it in. There we are. Now, when we go to get this in position, there is one more thing that we need to mention. Your door handle should be under spring pressure. So when we do go to align the alignment points, whether it's the top or the bottom, we need to make sure that this spring does have pressure, and that would press up against the backing area. When I start bringing this into position, you can start with either the top or the bottom. Of course, we do want to make sure the cable's not binding in any way. We also want to make sure that that spring is pressed. So I'm pressing that over. I'm aligning my lower tab. I'm bringing the upper portion into position, and I'm sliding it rearward. Now it's time for our plastic panel. To install the plastic panel, we're pulling on the inside door handle. While we do that, let's start rolling this into position, starting with the bottom, rolling it in up along the top, and then in the center we should have the area for our mounting screw. Now it's time for our small screw. We'll just get this in position here. Now this screw should be pressing this panel towards the door. As you can tell, our application is broken, but you just want to take this and snug it up. Once you have it snug, use your protective cover, slide that into position, and then just double check to make sure everything's secured as it needs to be. Okay friend, we finished our installation. Now the next thing we always like to do is test the functionality of the inside door handle prior to shutting the door. With that said, I have my hand on the inside door handle. Let's make our way towards the door latch. Now what we need is a tool that you can use as a striker. For this, I'm just using a driver, but you can also use a 1/4-inch extension. We're pressing it into the door latch. At this point, the door latch thinks that the door is shut. Now I'm going to start pulling on this. I'm applying pressure like I'm trying to open the door, but I'm not pulling on the handle. It does not release. Now I'll pull on the handle. As you can tell, it releases. Let's go ahead and test that one more time. Perfect. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.